Brace it. This isn't comfortable.
It's not supposed to be.
How many of them do you think there are?
It won't matter. You have no chance against any.
Imagine discovering a plot hole so massive, it collapses Bone Tomahawk's entire universe. Let's dissect the scene that broke the internet. The film begins in the year 1890, a time when people lived in fear of bandits. These criminals weren't just stealing valuables, they often took lives too. One such bandit, named Parmes, along with his partner, brutally murdered 3 people and robbed them. After completing their robbery, they passed through an eerie area surrounded by wooden fences and human skulls hanging all around. Before they can process what's happening, Parmes' partner is suddenly struck by an arrow, tipped with a human bone. Parmes tries to save his friend, but it's too late. Realizing he could be next, he flees the scene and returns to his town. There, he hides all the stolen goods. Unluckily for him, an assistant of the town sheriff, Hunt, witnesses this. He reports the incident to the sheriff, suspecting Parmes might be a thief. The two decide to investigate and capture Parmes if the suspicions are true. Sheriff Hunt approaches Parmes calmly, asking him questions. Noticing his nervousness, Hunt becomes sure of his guilt. As he tries to flee, Hunt shoots Parmes in the leg, stopping him in front of a crowd, publicly revealing his identity as a bandit. Among the onlookers is a man named John, who feels sorry for Parmes and rushes to find a doctor. There's only one doctor in town, and she's already tending to her injured husband, Arthur, who has a serious leg wound. But due to the urgency, she takes permission from Arthur and accompanies John to the police station. She is shocked to see Parmes' injury. It's worse than she expected. Treating it could take all night, and even then, his recovery is uncertain. Meanwhile, in another part of the town, a boy is heading to his farmhouse when he hears horses galloping wildly. Upon checking, he sees strange-looking humans, not like ordinary people. Before he can react, these creatures attack and kill him brutally. These were not ordinary men. They were cannibals chasing Parmes. The next morning, the sheriff is at home when a terrified man informs him of a mutilated corpse found in the fields. He says the police station was empty, not even a single prisoner. Shocked, the sheriff visits the scene and confirms the man's claims. Investigating the police station, he finds an arrow that belongs to the cannibal tribe, though he doesn't yet understand what it means. To find answers, the sheriff visits the professor. But first, he stops by the doctor's house and informs Arthur that his wife has gone missing. Arthur is devastated. The sheriff tells him not to worry. He promises to find her. Arthur insists on joining the search, and they head out together, soon meeting the professor. When shown the arrow, the professor immediately recognizes it as belonging to the cannibal tribe, flesh-eating savages who kill anyone they capture. The professor warns that the tribe is dangerous. If they start taking people from the town, then the entire town is at risk. The cannibals will keep returning for prey. Arthur, worried for his wife, decides to join the sheriff's rescue mission. The team sets off on horseback. As night falls and exhaustion sets in, they decide to rest. John sets up a tripwire around their camp for safety. That night, the wires sound an alert, but it turns out to be just an animal. The next morning, they continued their journey. Arthur's leg injury worsens, showing signs of infection. The sheriff suggests he stay behind, but Arthur refuses to stop. That on the next night, they are approached by 2 strangers. Hunt warns them to stop and drop their weapons. The men claim to be unarmed, but continue walking toward the group. Sensing danger, John shoots them both. Hunt is angry, thinking John killed innocent people, but upon checking, they find weapons on the bodies. John was right. The men were robbers. They sleep peacefully that night, or so they think. Another attack occurs. Robbers silently steal their supplies and even their horses. John's loyal horse refuses to go with the thieves, so they badly injure it. When the group wakes up, they're shocked and heartbroken, especially John, who puts his suffering horse out of its misery by shooting it. With no horses left, they have no choice but to continue on foot. Arthur, now severely injured, is left behind with painkillers. The others mark their trail with stones so Arthur can follow later. Eventually, they reach the cannibal tribe's territory. Almost immediately, a cannibal appears and a hunter shoots him. The noise attracts more cannibals who attack with strange weapons. John is gravely injured during the fight. Realizing he can't go on, the sheriff and his partner leave him behind with a gun for protection. John, ever brave, manages to kill 3 more cannibals before he dies. The sheriff and his partner try to sneak into the cave but are captured. They're locked up in a cell with other prisoners. The sheriff asks about Parmiz, and the doctor tells him that Parmiz has already been eaten. Only 2 captives remain now. Suddenly, a cannibal arrives, blows a strange whistle, and selects 1 prisoner. The poor soul is dragged out, stripped, and violently torn apart in front of the others. The scene terrifies everyone, but the sheriff assures the doctor that Arthur will come for them. When she hears that Arthur was left behind due to his injury, she becomes furious. The sheriff calms her, saying this is the time to fight together, not argue. They count the remaining cannibals. 12 are left, as John has already killed 3. The sheriff has a plan. He mixes poison into a bottle of wine and pretends to fight over it with the others. The cannibals, curious and greedy, steal the wine and drink it. 3 cannibals die from the poison. The plan works. Meanwhile, Arthur is crawling toward the can. Arthur's cave. When attacked by 2 cannibals, he shoots and kills them. He finds a strange whistle used to summon others and uses it to lure more cannibals, whom he also kills. Arthur, though barely able to walk, takes out several enemies alone. Inside the cave, the cannibal leader realizes they've been tricked and angrily punishes the sheriff by stabbing him and shoving a wine bottle into his stomach. Just then, a gunshot is heard. Arthur has killed another cannibal outside. All but 1 cannibal rush out. The remaining 1 attacks Hunt, but Hunt manages to overpower and kill him. Arthur enters the cave, meets the sheriff, and learns that only 3 cannibals remain. The sheriff, now dying, urges Arthur to lead the others to escape O'Dwyer's detour, while the characters are in a desperate race against time to rescue Samantha. O'Dwyer stops to remove a bone ornament from a dead cannibal's throat. He justifies this by muttering to himself, "Is that jewelry?" This action is seen as a significant plot hole, as it wastes valuable time when his wife is in imminent danger. Agree? Disagree? Let's start a comment civil war. And if you're obsessed with hidden movie secrets, smash that bell. Our next video might ruin your childhood. Enjoy more movies, be subscribed.